guys, it's Allie, and this video is a combination of an Etsy release studio vlog and a small business Q&A. So a few days ago, I asked on Instagram if any of you guys had questions about running or starting a small business, specifically an Etsy shop, and I also had an Etsy release, so I decided to kind of combine the two videos. So show you guys the clips from the Etsy release with some text to explain what I'm doing, so you do have some type of visual to look at and you're not just bored by listening to my voice for who knows how long this video is going to be, and of course a Q&A to answer your questions if you guys need any advice for your small business or your future small business. So without further ado, let's get started. So this first question is, how long does it take for one item? So this really depends on the type of item I am making. Certain items like dresses will take me longer because it's pretty much like making a top and a skirt but in one item. Plus sometimes I add buttons and I have to sew those by hand, so it takes a really long time. That can take maybe 3 hours to make, 3.5 even. I don't really remember, I don't time myself. But then you have items such as my bandanas, which they're super easy to make and I can finish one in about 20 minutes. So it really depends. Sometimes I won't sew everything in one sitting. I'll take a break if I get frustrated, come back the next day. So yeah, it really depends. How should one go about advertising their shop? Like, should you do it before you open or wait? Now I'm going to talk about doll Etsy in particular here. There are two main ways that people operate their Etsy shops in the doll community. So you can either post your items as soon as you're finished sewing them, or you can do what I do and I think most shops do, where you make about 10 to 20 items and then you release them all at once and you have a big release. I think if you are the type of shop to start with a release, don't advertise your shop until you finish the release or mostly finish the release, so you're not letting anybody down if your shop falls through or you have to extend the deadline. And if you're the type of shop who just wants to post items as you make them, start with about 10-15 items, post them, and then keep adding from there. So hopefully that answered your question. The next one is, where do you get your packaging? So my packaging is always slightly changing. I'm always trying to figure out ways to make it better or better places to buy my supplies from. So currently my bubble mailers are from Amazon. You can get a lot for a cheap amount, but I would like to find a better company to support with my envelope purchases. Plus my current ones are a little thin for my liking. So as soon as I run out of these, I'm definitely going to be looking for new envelopes. So if any of you have a small business and you have a recommendation of where to get good bubble mailers for not that much money, please let me know in the comment section down below. I get my tissue paper from the dollar store. It's like $1.50 for 20 sheets, so it's really good value. You're just gonna throw out the tissue paper anyways, so I don't need to buy fancy tissue paper. I make my business cards myself, and if you guys want a whole video about how to design and print your own business cards, let me know. But in the future, I would like to order them in bulk from a company just to save some printer ink. And I get my twine from Michaels. So those are pretty much the packaging basics that I include with every order. How do you decide what to put in your next release? So sometimes I'm just experimenting, and if something goes well, I will make more and include it in a release. Sometimes Dolly Delights posts a new video and I do have her permission to use her patterns. It's a really great resource for anyone wanting to start a shop who doesn't make their own patterns. And then of course I experiment and try and make my own patterns too, but it's just really whatever comes to mind. Sometimes I'll buy a certain fabric and I'll be like, this would look really cute in a button-down dress, so then I make that. So I just kind of go with the flow. I'll do a lot of t-shirt variations because those are fun to do, and I really like seeing with one pattern how much can I modify it and how many things can I make. How do you price your products? Pricing is such a pain. It's one of my least favorite parts about being an Etsy shop owner. I want to make sure that with everything in my release, I cover the cost of the materials that I spent for that month. So this month was kind of expensive for me because not only did I buy my normal fabric, but I also had to restock certain things like tissue paper, photo paper, shipping label paper, just all the essentials. So it definitely cost me a bit more than usual this month. Plus I also had to buy a hard drive so I could use my new editing software. So you definitely want to make sure you cover all your expenses with the amount that you price. And then of course you want to make a profit. You pretty much want to price your products as high as you can while still getting people to buy them, if that makes any sense. One tip I have is, let's say you're selling a graphic tee and you don't know what to price it for. I would look on Etsy for other people who are selling American Girl graphic tees, look how much they're pricing their tees for, and then I would try and be around that same amount. Hopefully that helps. I'm also in a group chat with a few other Etsy owners, and sometimes I will send my items to them and ask for recommendations for prices. I'm just interrupting this Q&A to say thank you so much for ordering from my shop. I just released everything. It's only 11:03 and I've already gotten 3 orders, including people who have ordered multiple things. So thank you so much. Your orders really make my day, and I really hope you guys enjoy your items if you're watching this video. I'm literally just picking out the pieces that I need to put on top of each envelope, and we just just got a 4th order. And it is only 11:05, so thank you. This is crazy. I think this is probably one of the fastest turnouts I've had for any release, and a lot of people are ordering multiple items, so thank you. How much does Etsy take from you? One reason a lot of people choose not to sell on Etsy is the fees. So I did write down all of the fees that Etsy takes from you. So there's a 20-cent listing fee. So every time you publish a new listing, it costs 20 cents. There may or may not be a shipping fee depending on if you use Etsy labels or not. There's a shipping transaction fee, so I'm not 100% sure if you pay this or your buyer pays this, but when you're paying the shipping fee, 5% of the listed shipping costs for an item will be added to that for Etsy. And then of course there's a regular transaction fee. So when somebody purchases from your shop, 5% of the total item costs will be added on, and that will be a fee. Okay, I really mean this when I say this, and this is why Etsy vlogs and Q&As do not mesh. I keep interrupting, but I just filmed a story to be like, four orders in less than 10 minutes, thank you, and 2 orders came in during that story. So for any of you guys, and I will mention this in the Q&A, if any of you guys are trying to grow your small business and you're really discouraged, like the first time I had my Etsy release, I was really discouraged at how slow orders were coming. Just know that your business will grow. This is only my 4th main Etsy release. I did do a 2nd release, but that wasn't as good quality as my normal releases are. And I just really want to say thank you so much to everyone who's ordered from me. You guys really make my day, and I really appreciate it. Do you need any licenses, or do you have to pay taxes to sell on Etsy in Canada? So I am Canadian, if you didn't know, and a lot of the financial, business, government stuff, it's different where I live compared to USA. I know all those US articles are always talking about the IRS, and I'm like, they sound scary. Glad I'm in Canada. As for licenses, from my research, in USA, if you consider Etsy your main job and not just a hobby, you do need a license. But I think if you're small, you probably won't get caught, but don't take my advice on that. Do your own research if you're from USA. But in Canada, if you make under $30,000 a year, that means you don't have to charge GAST, HST, stuff like that, and you do not need a business license. So I do not have a business license since I obviously do not make $30,000 a year. And as for do I have to pay taxes to sell on Etsy in Canada, once again, if you are from USA, do your own research. I do not know this stuff. You do have to declare how much money you've made, I believe, but if you make under a certain amount, you won't have to pay taxes. I'm not sure if that amount is $30,000, but I know you don't have to charge taxes in Canada if you make under $30,000. Do your own research, especially if you are not from Canada. Does it cost money? Yes, I think to start any business or any venture, you do need a bit of money. For me, I had a sewing machine already, but in order to start my business, I had to buy packaging supplies like envelopes, tissue paper. I had to buy domestic stamps. That's how I offer free shipping within Canada. You have to buy fabric, sewing needles, pins. So there is definitely money involved. You do want to make sure you're making that back. And kind of how my cycle of Etsy was is I invested a bit of money into my business, then I made back that money plus a bit of profit, and then you can either just spend that profit or reinvest that profit back into your business so you can buy bigger things next time. And that's the cycle. You shouldn't be losing money. Break even if you have to, but ideally you do want to make a bit of a profit. As a Canadian seller, I'm sure global shipping is something you're an expert at. Advice. I always see people, especially when they start out, they're like, I'm sorry, I don't ship international. And I'm like, why? And I even researched this question, and every answer said, don't be scared to ship international. So what I do for domestic orders, and I don't know if the US has something similar, but in Canada, from Canada Post, you can get oversized stamps. There is a weight limit and a size limit, but if it can fit through that letter slot, it is okay. I believe it's just under $2 per stamp, and most of my orders are from USA, so I don't have to worry about it too often, but it's great because it allows me to offer free shipping in Canada, since $2 shipping per order is not that bad for me to cover. As for USA, I have a setting on my Etsy shop called small packages. I don't have to pay shipping for international orders, that's on them, and I'm very thankful that most of my orders are international because I was definitely worried at first because of high shipping costs. To everyone watching who has ordered from me, especially internationally, thank you so much for willing to spend a lot of money on shipping just to get my products. One thing you do need to note though about international shipping is customs forms. So I filled these out for USA all the time, and I've actually had one order from the UK and it was pretty similar to USA. You have to fill out something at the bottom of the shipping label called a customs form. You pretty much just write what is in the package, what the value is, what the weight is, and then you have to just sign it and add the date. It's really simple. You can always go to the post office and they can explain it for you, but I think that's what everyone's scared of, and it's really not much different than crossing the border at an airport or a car border and just saying, what are you bringing back into the country? There are restrictions for each country about what you can and cannot bring back. For example, I know you cannot bring fruit from USA into Canada because of bugs, but I ship doll clothing and I'm pretty sure there are no restrictions around shipping doll clothing anywhere. International shipping is something you definitely should not be afraid of. How many articles of clothing do you make on a monthly basis? Just a guess. This really depends if I'm sewing a ton a month, if I'm having a release that month, or if I'm super busy with other stuff, but I'd say giving that a try and have a release every month and a half, I probably sew maybe 20 items a month, including fails and things like that. So the last question I'm going to be answering in this video is, what is the most stressful part of a release? In terms of just running my Etsy shop in general, definitely when I am sewing and I make a mistake, I get really discouraged, mad at myself. I just wasted fabric, I just wasted so much time and I want to quit. Annika Victoria, a YouTuber I watched, did a really good video explaining exactly what that feeling is. It's called rage quitting, so look that up if you are a sewer and you will definitely relate to that video. So that is definitely stressful. In terms of the release itself, it's probably the night before, which is actually when I'm recording this voiceover. Probably just because you see all these comments which are like, I'm definitely gonna buy from you, interested, I want this, and things like that. I still have the nervous feeling of, are these people actually going to buy from me? Is everything going to sell? Because I'll watch Etsy vlogs on YouTube because I find them interesting, and you see people having sold out releases in 5 minutes. And it's like, is that gonna happen to me? Is that not going to happen? Is none of my stuff gonna sell? And I'm not gonna even break even this month? So that can be kind of stressful too, just waiting for those orders. But with every release, it does get easier and I do get more orders quicker, which I'm very thankful for. So you just have to have patience really. But yeah, the waiting game is definitely the most stressful part for me. Also, just whenever I get a notification that somebody left a review on my shop, I get so nervous that somebody's gonna leave a bad review, so I click it and it's always been 5 stars, and that's something, I don't know if it's Etsy in general or just doll Etsy, but so many shops, including mine, which I'm very thankful for, have a 5-star average and most reviews are 5 stars. So thank you if you've ever left a review on my shop. I really appreciate it, and it does make my day seeing your happy reviews when I'm expecting the worst. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was a little bit long, but I hope you guys got to learn a little bit more about the process of running an Etsy shop or starting an Etsy shop, and got to see a bit of behind the scenes of me packing orders for the wildflower release and just prepping everything I needed to prep. If you do want to support my business, you could of course buy from my shop. Even just following me on Instagram at Pacific Dollco, leaving a like, and commenting on my posts really does make my day as well. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more small business related videos as well as doll videos in general, and comment down below, do you have a small business or are you planning on starting one? And feel free to plug your business so other people in the comments can check it out. Have an amazing day, shop small, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye!